In my 51 years, I have to say I've been extremely fortunate. I have had no real medical emergencies to speak of in my life. I mean, I broke my arm, I think, when I was about 10 years old riding a motorcycle. The only other thing notable that happened to me was when I was in my late 20s. I had a deviated septum. I was getting a lot of sinus infections, and I do remember this one time. I had this surgery where they effectively they sort of break or reposition the nose, and 24 hours after the surgery, I was at home, middle of the night in bed, and my nose just started bleeding uncontrollably. I mean, it just would not stop. And I could feel my pulse in the back of my neck, and every time my heart beat, my nose would just drain, and it did that. And what ended up happening was I went back in the hospital, got some infection. But the craziest part of this thing, for me, and I still tell my kids about it today, was part of this surgery was to drain the nasal cavities here, I guess, in the cheeks, right? And then they put this thing in there, and it's kind of like a tampon. And so for about a week, I had a string hanging out of my nose, and I'll never forget going into the doctor, and he puts those, those scissors things, those clamp things, and he kind of winds up the string a little bit, and with the string out between his knuckles, and puts his hand on my forehead and gives it a yank and pulls it out. And the thing came out, and it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, where he pulls that big ball out of his nose. It's like, how did that, and the pain was unbelievable. Like, how did that thing even get in there? And so for me, that's probably the most notable, medical emergency that I've had in my life. I've been very fortunate. I'm very grateful that I am happy, and everyone around me is healthy and happy as well.